Go ahead. Make my day.
You're bleeding, man.
I ain't got time to bleed.
I mean, what kind of guy has dolphins for pets?
It'd be a privilege to have my heart broken by him.
Oh, look at that. I've been impaled.
That wasn't flying. That was falling with style.
It's Hard-Headed Sports with Spinney and Fetty Bus. Famous for their podcasts, you can now catch them right here on The Al Travis Show.
We've got him, Fetty Bus, with us from Hard-Headed Sports today. Fetty, how you doing, my friend?
Doing well. How are you?
Good. I can't complain. You're kind of on the front lines of sports. You do some head coaching up there at Bethany with the Vikings, that sort of thing. How long you been doing that?
6 years.
6 years. You notice people being softer? You think old-timers were tougher back in the day?
I don't. I wouldn't.
Come on.
I
Really?
wouldn't say so. Yeah.
Okay, because I'm going to use this. Max Fried, have you heard of this guy, the Yankee pitcher?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, they're not sure how long he's going to be out with a blister. He's got a blister.
That kind of stuff is crazy.
I sit here and Morris, was it Morris who in the World Series came out and pitched a complete game for the Minnesota Twins, and like his ankle was bleeding. Didn't matter. He's going to finish. Now we get a blister. We make hundreds of millions of dollars, and we just don't know how long this is going to last. You know what you did back in the day? And, of course, they tell you can't do this anymore. You pop it. You get a little needle, and you pop it.
That's
Boom.
what I would do. But
Thank you very much. See, so you're going to tell me we're not softer today? Come on.
I mean, I guess from that standpoint, yeah, it is. It is a little crazy. I do understand it a little bit with the pitcher. If it's in his throwing hand, it's kind of hard to grip the ball and even throw it for that matter. But
well, what would cause said thing? I would imagine if whatever pitches you're throwing a few million of them. Aren't you a little calloused up? I guess I haven't looked at pitcher's hands. Wouldn't that callous up? So how do you spring a blister?
yeah, I don't know. I think I've heard stories of MLB pitchers having like blisters that just like pretty much refuse to go away because of like how much, like I guess
constantly
pressure
using.
and,
Yeah.
I don't know. It is weird.
All right. Well, I'm just going to
Baseball
say
players are so weird. They always have the weirdest injuries, I feel like, in the MLB.
Well, yeah, they straighten weirder things than anybody else. You can be a football, you wouldn't take. Could you imagine a football player saying, "Coach, can't play, got that blister on that finger"? You'll see him with casts on and playing with a busted hand. Football players are a different mentality. Same with hockey guys. Sir, it's just a tooth. I can play without it and move on. You know what I'm saying? All right. Did you happen to watch the All-Star Derby, the home run derby last night?
Yeah, I did. I had to catch it to make sure I supported my guy, Byron Buxton.
Walk us through it. How do you think it went?
One thing that I don't enjoy really is the fact that Brent Roker got eliminated because the longest home run between him and Cal Raleigh, who ended up winning the Derby. Did you see that?
Yeah, and this is my old man wanting to complain. I'm glad you're complaining. Go on. What happened is like tenths of a foot, right? Tenths of inches is all the difference.
So they're tied with 17 homers, right? So then they just go off the longest home run. And Cal Raleigh hit a 470.62 feet, it says, and Brent Roker hit a 470.54. Now that's just ridiculous. You don't know. There's no way you know.
There's no way in the world. Shot link and all the rest of that crap they do. But here's what kills me about it. So what are we? 150 years in the baseball? I don't know how long you've been doing an All-Star game, but they've been doing it plenty long enough to figure out a way of doing this. The players didn't know. The guy who got eliminated thought they were going to go into a quick bat off or home runner off.
I thought that's what it was a swing off.
Well, that's what he thought too. And then they walked up and said, no time for that. He wins because he hit the longest one. Where's that written? Homer is Homer. Next thing you're going to do, somebody's going to say, I hit 15 home runs, but they were cumulatively longer than your 20 home runs. I should be in. It's a whole math thing now. Now it's just not watching home runs go out of the park. I thought the same thing. I'm like, well, that's ridiculous. It's a home run derby. It isn't who hit the furthest ball derby. It's how many home runs did you hit? Yeah, that was a little sad.
800th of a feet. It's like you don't know. Like that. I just refuse.
Shot link, no way.
I actually know that.
That is funny. Now, Byron went through some a slow period. He started to hit some slow stuff, decided to take a breath. He came out of the first round with 20 home runs. Good for him, gets into the semis. And him and Caminero went at it stroke for stroke, but 7 and 8, they weren't anywhere near as prolific as Cal and Cruz.
Yeah, Cal was killing it the whole time. He was pretty steady. That's just obviously the biggest thing with these home run derbies is the fatigue, right? Like some it hits some guys harder than others. O'Neal Cruz, that home run he hit was ridiculous. What's the distance on it here? I think it was like 512.
517 or 17. Yeah.
That's insane. 513-foot home run, and like he's not even like that known for hitting home runs either, for that matter. I thought it was kind of surprising that he was even in a home run derby, and then he came out and did an insanely good job in that first round. I was like, oh, I guess he kind of proved me wrong. He's
somebody, yeah. So let me ask you this: how come no catcher has ever won the home run derby? Is there something against that position? Is they just not built right? They're all squatty.
I never heard that.
He's the first catcher ever to win it, and I'm like, why would that make a difference? But catcher's generally a different breed.
Yeah, usually, it is starting to become a little different where catchers are starting to become a little better batters and whatnot. But yeah, typically throughout history, they aren't the craziest of batters. They're just your best defender typically. But
not the best of hitters. What always bothered me about catchers with that is they see a million more pitches than anybody else, right? They're on the receiving end. They're sitting there all the time. I would think they'd have a better shot at hitting the ball. Right? They manage a game. They see it. It's just amazing how many more literally sit there in the box, get to see these these balls. I would think they'd be better than your average, but they generally aren't. Now, can we talk the uniforms for a second?
Cal Raleigh, I just want to say, I wonder how many times the MLB home run leader at the All-Star break actually won the home run derby.
Oh, that's interesting.
This is like the first time I can think of it, at least in my lifetime. He came in that All-Star break with 38 home runs, which is just absolutely ridiculous. So,
wow.
He's the home run champ so far.
Why did half the people have my name on their jerseys?
I have no idea.
They all have a big, ugly Al written right across their left chest. What is with that?
I don't really like the jerseys this year at all.
They were ugly.
It doesn't surprise me, though. I feel like the All-Star jerseys across all the major sports are always just not good.
But why is that? You have an entire year to design next year's jersey. You're not rushing. It looks like this jersey was designed, and I will share the story, back in the day when our softball team got thrown together last minute, had to get to a tournament, and I ran to the gal's place that did jerseys, and put the thing in, and we created live on the spot. Well, it's got to say Al on there somewhere. Oh, is bigger, better? You bet. Slap it on there, and we just ran out and got it and ran. That's what it looks like Major League Baseball did with jerseys last night. Horrid looking.
Yeah.
Now, how do I get one?
Lowercase letters for both of them too. The A and the L are lowercase. It's on one side of the jersey, and the number jersey is on the other side. It's just,
and it's in cursive. It's terribly. How do I get one? It's got Al written all over it. I want one. Somebody tell me how I can get one of those jerseys. I don't care if it's ever game worn.
You got to get the Buxton All-Star jersey now for sure.
Absolutely. Oh, God, that's a great idea. That's what I'm going to do. All right, we got to go to break. We have much more coming up right after this. I've got him. He is Fetty Bus from Hard-Headed Sports.
Think about it. Now that school's out for the summer, how are Minnesota students doing? Not very well. Minnesota ACT scores fell again last year and are the lowest they've been in 10 years. In fact, fewer than half of Minnesota students can either read or do math at grade level. Think about it. We used to brag about our schools. Now we're losing to states like Mississippi. Visit AmericanExperiment.org for more information. Think About It is brought to you by Center of the American Experiment, Minnesota's think tank.
There are many ways to explore Alexandria. Some like to experience the outdoors and all the fun winter in Minnesota can provide. Pick your favorite way to get in touch with nature. Others like to explore downtown in the warm comfort of a boutique or gathered around a table with friends. You can do all of that or relax and do nothing at all. Come explore Alexandria. Start planning at explorealex.com.
gets to know a guy that knows a guy. Al Travis.
I know him. He's Fetty Buzz from Hard Hitting Sports. He's also a big mucky muck. For the three-peat champions, the Vikings up there in Mankato. Buzz, maybe you... Well, first, will you be watching the All-Star game tonight?
I won't lie. I typically do not tune into the MLB All-Star game.
I will probably tune in and see if Buck starts or not. I doubt I'll hang around to see anything to do with Ryan because I presume we won't get into 8th or 9th inning for maybe a batter or two. Doesn't interest me enough. Probably won't watch it. But let's talk basketball. Oh, good.
Before we switch basketball, I will say it's ridiculous that Javier Baez, I don't think he even has the numbers to be in the All-Star game, frankly. Yep. But he just gets to be in the All-Star game since the Tigers are so good, which I understand to a point, but I do think it's a little ridiculous that he's a starter, especially in center field, a place where he hasn't played for 40 games. He hasn't started in center field for 40 games, and this guy's starting in the All-Star game over a guy named Byron Buxton. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there. To me as well, and I understand every team gets an All-Star, but that doesn't necessarily mean you've got the best players out on the field.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's not cool. I give you that. Now, on the basketball side of things, you got to level with me. The story today on ESPN, Bronny James leads the Lakers with 17 points in a loss to the Clippers. And this is at Summer League ball. No one cares. I presume as a coach, are you a big proponent of getting these kids to play as much basketball as possible? Right? They want them playing Summer League, keep them fresh. Are you okay with that? Or once you make it to the pros, you think they played enough basketball? What are they getting out of Summer League?
Yeah, I think Summer League's just a good opportunity to see what you have with some young talent. I mean, I would say probably 70% of these rosters are guys that aren't going to make the team. You know what I mean? These are guys more fighting for G League spots, just fighting for the chance to stay in the league in some sort of fashion. So teams are usually just throwing them out there, just trying to see what they got. And they usually spread out playing time pretty evenly too. So it is kind of interesting from that standpoint. I do actually like watching the games, even though they can get very, very sloppy at times. Since these guys, they just have been at camp for only 2 weeks. These guys don't really know how to play with each other yet, so it can get very sloppy at times.
Well, I guess my point is with Bronny James, right? This poor kid, he's never going to be his dad, right? But we want him to fail. Why is the fact that the Lakers B team loses to the Clippers, the headline is Bronny James let him there?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're trying to mentally whip this kid, right in front of us, and I can't stand it. I don't care. I don't care enough about him to care. But on the other hand, why are we jumping on him? Because his dad's who his dad is, right?
Right. It's kind of crazy. You can obviously tell that he's got a really good head on him. It doesn't seem like he lets that kind of stuff affect him, but yeah, he gets very wrongfully criticized just because his name is LeBron James Jr. and he's his own player, and no one should ever expect him to be as good as LeBron was. I mean, LeBron's solidified as a top 2 player of all time, right? So,
well, yeah. So you sit there and I just think people dislike him and say, well, he is only a Laker because of his dad. But could he be playing a G League spot somewhere else, do you think?
I think so. I mean, he's shown it throughout the G. He was averaging almost 20 points in the G League last year as a rookie. So I think he's definitely a quality player and shown that he belongs at least in the G League or at the end of a roster in some sort of team. There's 15 roster spots for every team. I think he kind of shows that he's right on that fringe. So I think he deserves this opportunity, and I do think it's kind of ridiculous that people don't think he does. Because if you just watch the game, you can tell he's that close. He's a good player.
Let me ask you this back to the baseball note. I'm just skipping around a little bit. Did you know that the Rays were for sale? And did you read that evidently they sold them for $1.7 billion? It
doesn't surprise me that they were for sale. I feel like that was ownership that, again, just refuses to put money into anything. The Rays' overall team salary has always kind of been laughable throughout the years. Usually their entire roster's salary is less than one player on the Yankees. It's typically how it goes. Yeah. But I was surprised that they fetched that much money, honestly.
So what does that mean for the Minnesota Twins, who are obviously for sale? Are they a 1.7 team? Are they roughly, like you're saying, don't spend a lot of money? Tampa Bay doesn't spend a lot of money. You're mired in the back of the pack. Is a Major League Baseball team worth $1.7 billion?
Yeah, I would imagine the Twins are around that much too. It is kind of crazy to think about. Yeah. The Rays, they have a lot more issues, I would say, though. Like, they desperately need a new stadium. But I don't know if that'll really even solve their issues because they always have a attendance issue as well. Like, they always don't seem to be able to fill up their stadiums. They're not as bad as the Miami Marlins, obviously, but.
Well, what does that do? If you looked at a Chicago, and they're not for sale, but the Colorado Rockies even, right. What would they be worth? Talk about a team that has no comeback. No one goes to a Colorado Rocky game. Nobody. The hot dog guy doesn't show up sometimes, and no one knows it, right? There's no one at a Colorado Rockies game. They can't be selling any merchandise. I can't imagine they could get anything for TV rights. The Colorado Rockies, get them for sale? Half price?
Yeah, I have no idea. This is definitely not the time to sell the Rockies if you're older. I mean, I thought we were sitting here last year just talking about how absolutely pathetic the White Sox are, and somehow the Rockies are worse this year than the White Sox were last year. I don't know how that is even possible, but 50 games, 52 games, Al, under 500 at the All-Star break. 52.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No one is going to be there. No one's going to watch that game. Let me ask you this then, one last baseball question. Can Woods, Richardson, and David Festa fill in well enough until we get our pitchers back to keep us in at least the hunt for a wild card, do you think, in the second half of the season, which starts on Friday, by the way?
Obviously, I want to be a little optimistic that they can. I just think that they're going to be a little inconsistent, right? These guys are still young, so that's kind of expected with pitchers their age. So I think overall they'll do fine, but definitely expect some inconsistency on a game-to-game basis.
Can we expect a run, though, a sweep against Colorado? I mean, if we're going to come out against anybody, we have the Colorado Rockies for 3 games, right?
Yeah, we gotta start hot after this All-Star break for sure. You gotta sweep them because then you have to play the Dodgers right away. So
yeah, it's not easy. And Boston's coming up down the road, same in Cleveland. Got to fly, my friend. I appreciate you being here. How does somebody pick up Hard-Headed Sports, buddy?
You can catch us on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts.
Sounds great.
If it's your turn to host a game, Grandpa's Barbecue suggests